What's going on, guys? Let me share this out real quick. Hope you guys are having a wonderful evening. Figure we could talk um, about some upcoming projects, things like that. Um, Basically, so I can take a break for a second from work. Just getting some shares and stuff going. What's up, James? Guys, make sure you share and tag. Um, got a lot of stuff to chat about some upcoming projects, things like that. Also, about the big sale that's going to take place tomorrow evening. Um, Definitely don't want to miss that one. We're going to be talking about um, but yeah, we're going to be. So we've got a lot of stuff going on. I just tagged a few people, but do me a favor, share the video out, show a little love like that. So as you guys know, I'm working on Cycle Sound number 3 at the moment. The Kickstarter, it's we've got the books in hand. They're in there in my living room right now. I've started sorting those yesterday. Working on some of the backer packages. I'm still waiting on the stretch goals to get here. The books beat the stretch goals this time, which is kind of funny. But we did have a delay on the stretch goals, but they should be here any day now. I know I've got a package coming today. I don't know. I don't know if it's the stretch goals or if it's just something else I had to order. But So I'm waiting on that delivery to get here. But I think that's UPS, and I want to think the stretch goals are coming from FedEx, I believe. Um, but yeah, so stretch goals. I mean, are we just waiting on those to get here? Um, and like I said, I'm waiting on um, those things so I can start sorting the rest of them. Because I'm hoping for. I knocked out a bunch of head sketches yesterday and today. In between sorting some of that stuff, I just took a bunch of that to the post office and sent you guys tracking numbers. So we got that out of the way. I think there's one. What's up, Sherry? I think there's one spot left on that sale commission because I was doing that. So what it is it's a sale for a head sketch that comes in ink and gray tones. But what it is it's I ran this sale to where you send me 5 characters of your choice and I pick one of those characters random to create a mystery sketch, and I use one of the blanks that I have in my overflow, and then you get that for that much more affordable cost, and that was a huge hit. I think I'd done 10 spots and I'm pretty sure like 9 of them are already gone. But that helped me get rid of some of this back stock I had on blanks because I had just done stockpile too many of them. But yeah, I think I've got one spot left on that. And then, then the official commission list has opened. I opened it a couple days early. Out of the 30 spots, I believe there's only like 21 or 20 or 21 spots left. So if you want to get a commission from me, you definitely need to send me a PM and jump on that list. Because once those spots are gone, the list will not open back up until January the 1st. I only do my commission list twice a year for the, big elaborate pieces. Head sketches, that's not that big a deal. But when it gets into half bodies, full bodies, color, etc., you got to go on the actual commission list. So I know as far as Psycho Sound number 4 is concerned, was it 3? Hey, is it 3? 3 of the cover artists are finished with their covers for issue number 4, and then the interior pages are halfway done as far as being drawn and everything. So we're just finishing out the last few pages. If everything continues to go the way it's going, I'm hoping to have Psycho Sound number 4 in the Kickstarter around the 16th of this month or the 23rd at the latest. And of course, as we get closer, I'll keep you guys in the loop about that and let you know what's up with that. Damn sure don't make sure you don't miss out on Psycho Sound number 4. We've got a lot of cool artists on this one. I've already announced, I think, 3 of them. Lacey Kruger, Jeremy Parker, and Michael Ratliff. They're 3 of the guest artists on this coming issue. And then I still have my cover to which I hadn't revealed any covers yet, but I still got to do my cover, which I've got it laid out. I just got to finish it. And you guys are going to be super damn stoked about my cover. It's an homage cover. And this one is going to be, insane. I cannot wait to show you. I can't wait to show you guys Jeremy Parker's cover and Lacey's and Michael's. They've done really good work. Michael's is off to the colorist. Jeremy Parker's is completely done on his. Lacey's is almost done with hers. She's working on the colors now. And this is her first ever published cover, so that's pretty cool. Hopefully you guys let me know. Let's see, did I set that video to public, I believe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. Let me double check that in the group part. I can share the video out. Because I'm pretty sure I switched it to public. Let's see. Yeah, it should be fine. Because some reason, if you don't set it to public, people can't comment on it or something. But anyway, so I've still got my cover. The covers to reveal, which we'll do those over the next few days. Also, we've also got one or two. I know one more guest artist to announce, but I'm thinking there might be 2. You'll have to forgive me. My memory is terrible. Sadly, we did have one guest artist that had committed to doing a cover that finally contacted me last night to let me know they wouldn't be able to get the cover done in time, that they had kind of, mismanaged their time and whatnot. And I appreciate them being honest with me about that. But they won't be doing the cover. We'll try to get them in on a future project. What's up, Mr. Dale? Hope your daughter's doing well. Yeah, it should be public. It should be set to public. But and the other thing, we're going to be doing some really cool stretch goals again for Psycho Sound number 4. So you guys be looking for those announcements coming, once the Kickstarter kicks off. Charter Comics as a whole has a bunch of cool stuff coming down the pipeline. And we're going to talk more about that. Chris, I think, is going to try to get on and chat with us here in a little while. When he finishes up his day. But I just want to go on early and kind of talk to you about some things. And the other thing too is, we were talking about this the other day. For any of you new artists out there, or even, you know what, even you vets, let me give you guys a little piece of advice. You got to, and this goes for anybody really, but artists especially, but it can apply to anyone that works in this industry. You got to make sure you hit your deadlines. If someone tells you that artwork is due by a certain date, you need to bust your ass to get that artwork done. Get off Netflix, get off Call of Duty, get off whatever the hell distraction you got going on. You need to meet those deadlines. And it doesn't matter whether it's a retailer or whether it's a company or whether it's an indie creator. You need to treat every single one of those people with the same type of courtesy and respect. And you need to bust your ass and get stuff done. Because when people do projects, whether it's a retailer or an indie person, we only have a certain space that we can fit people into because of affordability and hiring people to work for us. And if you commit to something and then you don't give good communication and stuff like that, and you end up having to fall out for one reason or another, there's really no excuse for that, in my opinion. I mean, because again, I'm not better than anybody else, and I've worked sick, I've worked hurt, I've worked, yada, 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 yada. So you need to keep that in mind, that when you agree to work on projects, you need to follow through on those projects. And this doesn't apply to any one person, because sadly, I am hearing this a lot lately in the indie community. Oh, so-and-so was going to do, was going to color my piece, and they agreed to do it. And then weeks went by, and then we're 2 days after the deadline, and they finally answer my PMs and they go, "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't have time." Don't do shit like that. That is disrespectful as hell. If you're going to be able to get something done long before the due date. If you can't manage your time better than that, maybe you need to go find a job you can clock in and out of. What's up, Samuel? Oh, okay. Well, I don't know why you're having trouble reaching me. I mean, I'm easy to get a hold of. I answer my PMs. I don't ghost people. I don't ignore PMs. So yeah, if you need to get a hold of me, I'm easy to find. You can send me a message on Facebook, or you can send me a message on Instagram. But yeah, I hope you're having a good weekend also. Yeah, I'm super damn easy to get a hold of. Yeah, so I don't know, maybe you saw me somewhere and you just forgot what my name was. I don't know, but yeah, if you're trying to reach me, I'm super easy to get a hold of. But yeah, so keep that in mind. Any new people coming into industry, oh, gotcha, that could be now. Yeah, no, that's true. Now, if you ever try to, for those that don't know, if you ever try to message someone you're not friends with, it goes to a separate folder for us that we don't get a notification for almost never, which I do try to look in my message request folder, or whatever it's called. I do try to look in it, but I only look in it like once a month, if that. So usually the best way to get a hold of somebody is, if you're not friends with them, and you send them a message, and like within an hour or two, if they haven't answered you, like go to their Facebook page and comment on a post they made or something. Say, "Hey, I sent you a PM." Yeah, I'll take a look as soon. Well, wait a minute, I got my phone here. Let's see. It should be under, what's it under? Message request. Oh, okay. I see you, Samuel. Okay, you're under message request. So yeah, for anyone in the future, if you ever send a message, and because most people, artists, professional people, etc., most time they'll answer a PM within an hour or two if they're good about answering their messages. But if it goes to that message folder, we may never see it unless we physically go there, because we don't get a notification for that thing, or at least I've never noticed one. But I do try to check that thing, but it's only about once a month, if not like once every 2 months. So the best way to do that is, if you see them talking like the way Samuel just did, "Hey, I sent you a message," do it like that. Or if you see a post they made on Facebook, comment on it saying, "Hey, I sent you a message on Facebook," and then they'll be able to go take a look at it, and they'll know where to look. But yeah, so keep that in mind. deadlines are extremely important. Whether, again, doesn't matter whether it's a company, a retailer, or an indie creator. If you commit to doing something, try your best to follow through with it, or let them know in a timely manner that you're not going to be able to get something done, so they can try to bring someone else in to take that spot. Because we, as indie creators especially, we have very limited spots that we bring people in for guest covers. And, it can be 4 people, 5 people, just depending on what it is. Oh yeah, Thanos. Oh yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah, Samuel colored my Thanos piece I drew. Yeah, that's cool, man. So keep that in mind. Always make sure you follow through with your deadlines. Bust your ass to get them done. Because the sad thing is, guys, unless you've had like a death in the family, or you're laid up in the ER or something, you really don't have a reasonable excuse to miss deadlines. I'm sure somebody's not going to like that I say it that way. But in my opinion, there's no reason to miss deadlines. And there's definitely no reasons not to communicate sooner than later. There's Mr. Chris Hayes. Let me bring Chris on. So we're going to talk about, Chris is coming on. For the guys or the people here that may not know, Chris Hayes is an incredibly talented writer. Does a lot of horror, among other things. Tons of books under his label. And he also runs Charter Comics, which is an incredibly fast-growing publisher that's got a lot of books under its flag, including my creator-owned book, Psycho Sal. But let's bring Chris on and chat with him. And we're going to talk about some upcoming projects that he has and fill you guys in on those.
What's up?
What's up, Mr. Chris Hayes?
Well, I saw you were live, and then, as a matter of fact, I saw you start talking about deadlines and people ghosting you, and I was like, oh, hell, I got to get in on this. I had to fix my hair. I had to fix my hair, fix the beard a little bit before I jumped on. So,
yeah, it's
I got to get in on this.
Ridiculously important.
There's all kinds of stuff going on in the world, in this industry. So,
yeah. Well, like I was just telling them just then, I'm not sure if you heard that or not, since you were in the waiting room. I don't know if you could hear me back there. I never actually asked.
Yeah, I can.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I was just kind of saying, in my personal opinion, and that's just my opinion, and I don't really think there's an excuse to miss deadlines. Outside of like a super family emergency, or you're laid up in the ER and or something like that. I just don't believe in it. I don't think there's I just don't think there's a reasonable excuse to miss deadlines in general. But I damn sure don't believe in it, the excuse of not, letting people know.
No, that's true. You got to be professional about it. We've come across it as well. I think a lot of it comes down to, honestly, you get some of these artists out there that are doing stuff for some of the big 3 now. And when you or I or some other creators that are indie creators go to some of these other people and ask to do covers, and yes, they do it, and all of a sudden they miss their deadlines, really it's coming down to, you're not a priority. Your project's not a priority over something that they may be working on your project. And then one of their friends comes in with another project that they want to do. And even though they've already been paid for it, things, they push your stuff to the side. So
yeah,
there are a few people out there like that. We're professional. We're not going to, I'm not going to call anybody out. I mean,
no, I'm not.
The list is getting longer. Let's put it that way. There's a list that's getting longer. And then that list is, creators talk, and you go to us or we go to other people. It's like, hey, what do you think about this searching for a cover or interiors? And people are honest these days. Before they would be like, oh yeah, I'd use them. They may take a little bit to get back to you, but I definitely use them. Now it's, we can be at shows and people will come up and go, man, I've tried to use such and such, and they wouldn't get back to me for 3 months on a project. And I'm like, yeah, we've been down that road. Or, hey, I want to use this person for a cover. What do you think? Man, they're awesome. They hit their deadlines. They're all that. Or, hey, I want to use this person for a cover. What do you think? Well, we've tried to use them twice. And, after they'll send over a rough sketch and you don't hear from them for 4 months. So I don't recommend
Yeah.
them. It's getting to that because you don't want other people to suffer from what we've experienced out there. And then the same thing goes. I mean, if you get hired out for a project or I've been hired out to write stuff, then they're expected for us to turn in our work. So we have to get that done. I don't know. It was just funny you brought that up because I was like, oh, hell, here we go. I mean, the minute you said that, my list just boom.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not one of those things like, now, of course, if those situations where you pay someone up front and they don't follow through, that really stings. Because then you got to fight to get your money back. Hey, what's up, Mombi?
Hey, Mombi.
There's certain people I've worked with and other people I've worked with where, they wanted half down or they were like, oh, just pay me when I'm done. And that's totally okay. And there is a flip side to it. Like, so, and what I was getting at is the reason I brought it up, because I'm not calling out a person and I'm not talking about a specific incident, because I've had it happen on other issues with Psycho Sal where someone said, oh, yeah, I'll do it. And then when it came time, they were like, oh, I can't do it. Something came up. And that's okay. For me, it's just about kind of mentioning it and getting it out there to where some of these new guys and ladies coming in, or even some of the ones that's been around a while, they need to realize the indie creators and their deadlines are just as important as any of these other companies, or at least in my opinion, they are. And they deserve the same treatment, the same respect, and as they would want from us, let's say paying them. You know what I mean? You want your money, I want my stuff. So it's just really about kind of keeping people in the loop that, hey, let's not do that. Let's concentrate on what we got going on, because you and I both work in this industry. So we understand the psychology of this industry. Like, we understand that there's a lot of shady shit that happens behind closed doors sometimes that can affect you and your mood and things like that and your creativity. Yep. Then there's being sick, from all the con travel can affect you. Exhaustion from being stretched thin. So there's lots of things that are, and then of course there is a lonely side to this industry, with the highs and lows and from seeing fans and then going back home, etc. So there's a lot of things that pulls you. So, you got to be prepared for that. You have to understand that you're not going to walk into this and it's going to be a normal 9-to-5 job and clock in, clock out, and everything's hunky-dory. But you got to suck it up because people have deadlines to meet.
And then there's one too that I think some people forget about, and I've always, I got a soft spot for artists. That happens sometimes is, say you're an artist, say you're single, male, female, whatever. You're trying to pay bills, so you're accepting cover jobs, and you might accept 7 or 8 cover jobs. Yes, 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 and they come up on you when you're working on one and forget to write it down that this cover was due on this date. You're like, oh shit, I got to put that one behind. That happens, especially as an indie cover artist, right? I mean, that's going to happen, but you're also trying to pay your bills, especially if you're a single parent or something like that. That stuff comes up and it sucks. But then it comes up, but at the same time, not intentionally doing it, not meaning to do it. You also can get that reputation out there that they don't hit their deadlines. Just, I think I'll back up. It all goes back to communication. Like, I know something happened with you recently. So it all goes back to communication. If you had good communication, you've got a Kickstarter starting in a couple of weeks like I do. If you had good communication, this was going to be done. No problem. I can't get to it. Hey, no problem. Move on to somebody else because you got to fill that cover spot. Now you got a week. You're going to have to try to find somebody, or you're going to have to cut that cover. Which
I literally have, within the next week and a half, I have to find that person to fill that spot, and they have to be done. So now we're in a very rare situation, not rare, but a very unique situation, because not only do I got to find someone that I think will suit the book and that I like their artwork or their personality, etc., but now I have to find someone that can get it drawn and colored in a week and a half to fill that spot. Otherwise, we just won't have a cover for that spot.
Right.
So,
and that's true, which sucks, because you want that cover because that cover is going to sell, and that one you had is literally going to sell because of the following. So
Yeah.
yeah, it sucks. I mean, we've been down that road before too. We've had a couple of names before, and we're like, oh, this is going to kick ass, and they've literally come out. It was all going to go good. We thought it was good, and then 2 weeks before the Kickstarters happened, we've got I just couldn't get to it, man. Sorry, lots on my plate. Hey, that's fine. We'll catch you on another one,
Yeah.
But we have a list of people that we work with, at our group, and then at the same time, you never want to have. We have so many different cover artists. I think a lot of people understand that it costs money to pay to have covers done. If we all had, Marvel Comics money hanging from the tree,
Yeah.
I'd have 30 covers a book because I could afford them. I can't.
Yeah.
Just like you can't on Psycho Sal when you do covers. I try to pick. I got Valhalla coming up. We've got 6 covers. I wanted 3. That was it. I wanted 3 covers. I was done. I was like, God dang! I just came off Nut Brigade. We got 8 covers. That cost my out the ass for those, but that's fine. They're great. It's going to sell. Valhalla's coming up. I wanted 3. I wound up with 7. I love every cover. As a matter of fact, every cover is going to kill on this Kickstarter. They're all done.
I think Valhalla, I swear, I truly believe that Valhalla is going to be your, again, for the people watching, you guys got to remember something very unique about Charter Comics and with Psycho Sal, Ferryman, and Valhalla, and all these books that come out under Charter Comics. Charter Comics does the way they kind of handle the Kickstarters a little different than everybody else. They're doing Kickstarters that have, $6 books, $10 books, $8 books, $50, all cover bundles and stuff like that. So they're doing stuff in a very, very unique, affordable way. They're not dropping, tons of $50 books and $80 books like most Kickstarters do. So
yeah, I think I need to. Though. It kills me. I see all these other Kickstarters, and
I think,
dang, man, I like
your $6,000. Like I'm calling it now. That's going to be, and the reason, and a lot of you people might be going, "What, 6,000? That's not." No, that's a huge bragging point when you're doing it off of $6 books and $8 books.
Yeah,
that's a
it's just like going to a show. I go to a show and sell the books and have a great show and sell all the books at $5 each.
Yep.
You're sitting next to me selling your Psycho Sals at 10. I'm gonna be like, I'm going up, and I'm selling for 5. That's just my mentality because I'm on the comic book store owner side. Right. I'm on the business side. I'm on the creator side. I see all that. One person, man, that is absolutely kicking butt in the industry on not only his store but his Kickstarters right now is Sean at Comics Elite. That guy is just killing it, man. I love that guy. And you know what else I love about him? He don't care. He will call you out in a heartbeat. Yep. Yeah, I love that guy. You screw around, he'll call it, man. He posted earlier about his Kickstarter, the newest one out there, like 937 followers. He's over $100,000 on that Kickstarter. Yeah, I'm like, dude. But the artwork and everything, I freaking love his stuff. And I back I'm like everybody else. I back all the stuff. I support that guy. Yeah, man, but he's one that a lot of people look up to when you're a store owner and when you're a creator and all that. You see how they've done it over the years and where he's come from and what they build. Man, it's impressive. So, and he's just good people.
I was just gonna say, for those that may not know who Sean is, Sean runs Comics Elite. Guys, if you want to know how to run comic shops and live shows and things like that, you need to watch Comics Elite. He has great customer service. He calls people out on the bullshit. He watches artists like myself and other artists. He watches our back in the industry. Like he's caught people selling, unapproved artwork. That these people printed out at, I don't know, Kinko's or some shit, and they got busted by Sean and some other people. So he has this similar mentality that I have, to where like there's not a whole lot of filters, so he kind of says what he thinks. And but yeah, make sure you guys check out Comics Elite if you haven't, because his Kickstarters are on fire right now. What did he do with Jinkies? Wasn't it like 120,000?
Something like that. I know I just got my survey in today for Jinkies. I'm like, dang, I'm at the point where I'm like, hey, Sean, I've already got the adoption papers. Will you just adopt me?
Yeah.
I'll move to Indy,
I'm going to seriously talk to Sean, because I'm going to hit Sean up. I'm going to put a little pressure on Sean. I love Sean, but I'm going to put a little pressure on Sean with the next Psycho Sal Kickstarter. I'm like, hey, brother, I need you to share this sucker out to your people, man. Come on. Because I shared your Kickstarter. I was like, so I'm going to get him for a little back rub there. Because, dude, his following, he's got great fans. He's got, and supporters. And obviously, look at the 2 Kickstarters he just did. You know, they have their live shows every week, and they have like 200, 300 people.
Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But you know what? They do it right. So,
Yeah.
you know, that's what a lot of people want to be. And there's a lot of jealousy in this industry. And you hear people, oh, well, this, but I'm like, oh, man,
Yeah.
that guy has come from where he's come from to where they're at. Hey, Lacey, that guy's insane, man. So, like I said, and him and his whole crew, they're just good people. They're fun to talk to. They're fun shows to watch. They got great books that they put out. So they're picked up by Lunar, Merc Publishing. Lunar publishes them and all the comic book stores that pick them up. So, I mean, they got it going on. So,
yeah, I was super happy. I got to do, it was for another store, it's a retailer exclusive, but I got, I got to do one of their Miss Meow books. So that was
yes.
Cool. So, and I have been talking to Sean, like we're talking about trying to figure out a book for me to do for them. So I'm super excited about that. Yeah, he's just good people, man. That like a lot of times we talk about, especially on my shows, because I tend to call out some of the negative bullshit and things like that. So a lot of times people they hear more of that in general. But I mean, there's some good stores out there. I mean, Gabe's Cage Comics and Collectibles is on fire.
Yep.
Pastime Comics is doing extremely well.
All right, yeah.
Yep, and then Comics Elite, of course, and we got Top of the World Art and Collectibles. That's new on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
That is really doing good. They've already dropped like 3 exclusives. Within like the last 3 months, something like that. And we're going to have a huge announcement for you guys here soon. And I'm going to wait and have Marty with me to do that one. But we're going to have an announcement for myself and Marty and Gabe's Cave here soon too. So I'll get him on the show and talk about that. But yeah, let's so I'm glad that we're mentioning some of these stores that, like I said, that's doing things the right way, putting fans and customers and other creators first. What do you think about
the Boohoo post?
Who? Do what?
I said the Boohoo post.
The Boohoo post. Look, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, artist, something here.
No, kid, we gotta go there. I almost said that earlier. I started earlier. I made a post earlier, and I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna pull that game. I'm not gonna go do the brag thing. But we're doing a whole Ferryman Universe thing again, right? So literally my post was simple. I just went to. It started with 2 coins because that's how Don't Play the Ferryman started, and that's all I posted. And then I posted a picture. But before that, I literally had. Hey, we have 10 retailers that picked up retailer exclusives on the 4 books. We have it's 4 books. That's all it is. 16,000 copies sold, which is true facts from all the retailer exclusives. Do what?
Why didn't you post that though? There's nothing wrong.
Nah, I'm not gonna bullshit. Nah, I was like, you know what? I don't want to be one of those people. I don't want to be one of those people.
Yeah, I don't think that's bragging. I think
that drives me crazy, and this is me. This is a pet peeve, but the attention post, oh my god, come on,
yeah,
that drives me crazy. So I'm like, I'm not going to do that.
You got to it's okay. Now we're talking about 2 different things. Now you got to stop with the "woe is me," "oh somebody hurt my feelings" bullshit. Stop it. Because you're going to get a lot of people that's not going to like your art. So just roll on, grow some thick skin. You don't need to make a post about it so people can pat you on the back and make you feel pretty. But now what Chris is talking about, though, like I think you should have posted that because that I and anyone who knows you know that you're not bragging. And there's a difference between bragging and just being proud of what you're accomplishing. And
I'm proud, but when I read it, it came back to looking like, and I was like, nah, I can't do that. I don't want to do that. But what I did, but I will make another one because I was like, hey, I look at where we started with just 1 book of Don't Play the Firm, and then where it went, and now where we're going. Like this stuff is done and ready to go, and I got stuff that's about to blow the doors off the stuff. Yep. Valhalla is starting it, and then after Valhalla. I mean, it's already being done. And here I told myself I'd never do it again. I did it earlier in the year where I was having 3 books drawn at once. I was going to take out, 4 mortgages on the house, it seemed like. And I was like, I can't do it anymore. And I'm doing it again. I'm like, I got Valhalla going. I've got and I just, the way my mind works, I was
Yep.
driving down the road and boom, had a story idea. I had to come up and wrote it. It's called The Road, right? So boom, it's being drawn by the lady that I used in 2019 to do Don't Pay the Ferryman, who is phenomenal. And she turned in 3 pages the other day. I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. So, and then I'm coming back with, Shield Maiden that we talked about, and then the one where me, you, and Cole were talking about,
Oh,
Con.
I'm so excited about that one.
Man, we got that one.
For that one. That one is going to literally shake up the community.
And then we got the spinoff one we've been talking about, and then we're coming back with the anthology. I got 7 writers doing. Everybody, including myself, is doing a short story on the ferryman. I've got me, I've got Lacey, I got Mike Henson, I got Ken McLean, and Lori Calcaterra, who's doing your Psycho Styles right now. She's writing one. So they're all short stories, 6 pages, short story. It's an anthology called Ferryman Tales Presents, and that's it. And it's the anthology on how everybody sees the ferryman and their own deal. I'll tell you, mine is a Bonnie and Clyde. It's freaking awesome. I've already done it. I love it. Mine's on Bonnie and Clyde. But there's one more writer that I will announce him on Monday. We have a call on Monday. He's already said he's going to do it. I will tell you this. He is a Marvel Comics writer that is going to write that is going to do one. So he's already confirmed. I'll announce the name. As a matter of fact, he's got a huge Marvel book launching in August. And it's going to be big. And it'll be one of the biggest Marvel books coming in August. So he is going to do 6 pages and create his own ferryman story that will be in that book with us. And I'm like, oh, I can't wait for this.
That's what I've been telling people. They really got to, for any of you that are listening, make sure you share out the video, guys, because you got to pay attention to what's going on with Charter Comics, because they just over last year. The amount of books that's dropped in the last year, the books that's been added to the banner. You guys are blowing up like really well. And we've got, now we're working, I've got this other idea for Cycle of the Blood Moon that's going to be added to the Charter Comics banner also. And then again was, you got your new book with Squirrel Brigade and then
Nut Brigade.
Nut Brigade. Sorry, Nut Brigade. And I keep calling out squirrels every time I see them now. So now it's stuck in my head. Like every time I go, like you saw the pictures I was posting from the damn zoo, squirrels stalking me. But yeah, so the Nut Brigade, and then and I love the idea. I love the idea that you, I, and Cole were talking about doing. That book's going to be stupid.
Yeah, that book will be crazy. Yeah,
it's going to be huge. And that's not like an ego thing. Trust me, guys, when we drop that information, you'll understand why we're saying that book's going to be big. But then also, with these, one-shot stories that you're doing with the Ferryman Presents, like you mentioned, since you already brought it up, I'll mention it again. With Bonnie and Clyde, and for those that don't know, he's doing a series of these books to where it's going to be these different moments in history that has to do with the ferryman. So I'm super excited about that one too. So how many do you have an idea? And I'm going to let you talk about it because I got to run and grab my package off the doorstep. It just got delivered. But talk about, if you can give a little information, like what can you give about the concept of the Ferryman Presents? Because I know you just did the one with the Shades of Death.
See, Shades of Death was our 4th book. Yeah. We had Don't Pay the Ferryman 1 and 2. Then we came back and wrote Ferryman Origins, which tells how the ferryman became a ferryman. And no lie, every show, now I'll take 20 of each to shows, and it still blows my mind that we sell out of Ferryman. That's the #1 selling book. And The Mother's Whisper is the one that's right behind it now, that what I just sold out of again in Houston and sold out of Ferryman. Literally had to walk to McLean's booth on Saturday because I sold out of all my Ferryman stuff. I had to walk to McLean's booth, and I was like, he always brings extra because he says, I never bring enough. And I'm like, I bring 20 of 1 and 2 each. Plus all the other books we have. And he goes, you don't bring enough. So he brought 5 of each. And I had to walk over to him, and I was like, do you have any #1s and 2? And he just laughs. And he's like, they're under the table in the box because I knew you wouldn't bring it. Okay. So I grabbed them, took them back to the booth. Sunday, they were gone. And I'm like, all right. So there it goes again. That's a good thing. But again, I guess I'm anal because I don't want to carry that much stuff to a show. So I
Yeah.
carry the one big box. I have a short box in there. I have all the books. And now I have another short box. But I'm like, I'm going to have to start carrying like you. I'm going to have to get the bigger dolly. I'm going to have the 2 totes because of all the books. But
yeah, you're going to have to, because I mean, when you sit back and you really think about everything that you have under the banner, because you're also, when you're not at the show with that particular artist that or creator of that particular story, you have some of their books on your table too. So for those that don't know, like he's at the cons, he's not, McLean's the same way. They're not there just promoting something he directly had his hands on. He's promoting the other books that's under the Charter Comics banner too.
Oh yeah, we have Lori.
Spot.
Yeah. Well, when you're not with us, we have Psycho South. So right, so you're there next to me, and McLean, and you're there. We don't sell Psycho South because you're there. But I have Lori's books, Path to Pale Rider. We got Carissa's Redemption, Worthy Chaos Redemption. I've got Richard's coming in with Orphan Bloodline, so he's sending us Orphan Bloodline. We've got Jason Turner's Ripper Gene, and then we got the Whack Jobs by Mike Childers. So we have, if I don't have them, McLean's got the rest of them over on his table. We're always right next to each other. So we're representing everybody. Is the whole goal of this is to put their book. It's not about us. It is, there's other people with us.
Yeah.
We want their books to get out there too. If they can't be at a show, whatever show we're at, we want their books being on the table and being spotlighted as well, and let people ask. Even if they don't buy it, hey, what is this Ripper Gene? We can tell them about it.
Right.
Look it up. Here's a website. Go to it. Check them out because, it could be issue 3. There's issue 3 coming, blah, blah, blah. And you start telling them about it. Now, they may not pick it up. Just with my stuff, the same thing. But they're having an interest and you're having you're talking to them about it. You're getting eyes on your product is the big thing. So the more eyes we can get, the more interest we can garner. We're just going to keep growing. Yeah. And we've got other creators that have reached out to us. Since Houston that came by and we're like, okay, there's actually a gentleman that came by when we were at KamehaCon, was talking to us, creating his own book. He's going today to Flick's Brew House to sit down and talk to McLean when McLean's at their work because he lives up in the Frisco area.
Nice.
And then more artists. We met a couple more artists at Houston. We met another one at KamehaCon that we're going to bring on and use as interiors and covers whenever the book fits their style.
Right.
That's another thing. But go get your package real quick.
Yeah, give me 1 second.
I think we got one viewer, so because everybody went silent. So McLean said Big Tops. He's watching from Flick. So you guys can say hi if you're watching. Have any questions? I just really came in to take up William's time because you know how he is. He can hear me, so I'm going to talk about him. We need something else to talk about besides him.
I was hoping it was my stretch goals coming in. I'm still waiting on those, but no, it was the extra Gemini mailers I ordered. So, and seeing that's something else I love about how you and McLean are handling Charter Comics is you're not afraid to look at new creators to see if they might be a possible fit for the banner. And you're not afraid to look at just like writers or just colorists or just pencilers, whatever the case may be, to see if they would fit as possible crew, that we could tap into for, hey, do you need a, cover artist? Check out this guy. Or, if you need a writer, check out this lady, whatever the case may be. Yeah. So I like the fact that you guys do that too. And you're just not like, we don't have time for, anyone else. But also I like the fact you guys are picky though. You're just not taking anyone just because they show a little interest. Like, I love the fact that you guys make sure that anyone that you bring under the label are lifting their own weight also and just not trying to piggyback off the success that Charter is doing.
Yes, you gotta, well, that's just it, and everybody that's under the label right now that we're promoting and working with other people, they have to promote themselves. What's up, Chris? They can't be out there because literally we've talked to people that have been like, hey, what do you want to get out of this? Well, I've got the story idea. Okay, well, once we help you get the book going, what do you want to do? Oh, well, I got a full-time job. I'm just going to give it to you guys and let y'all do something, and then I'll just no. See, that's not how it works. We don't do that. you know what? You got to put in 100% effort just like we do.
Yep.
We'll promote you. We'll put you out there, but you've got to do it on your end. And the minute you stop, then we stop. I literally talked to a publisher the other day that we're going to partner up and do stuff with on digital and other that with your books and everybody else's. That's really cool. And I'll tell you guys about it on Monday. We're going to have like a creator call like Monday night.
Okay, cool.
On StreamYard right here, but Lori and Richard and all them will be on here.
Right.
Just for like an hour and BS for a minute. But the best thing he said, and I thought this was awesome. We were talking about this, and he said he had somebody come to him and call him up and said, man, you know what? I haven't seen you guys promote my book in a month. And he goes, I haven't seen you promote your book in 2 months.
Bingo.
And I was like, right there. He said the guy didn't have anything to say. He goes, so we stopped. It was that simple. He goes, you're not giving us any motivation to go out there. If you're not going to promote yourself, promote your product, then that doesn't give anybody else a reason to promote you yourself.
Yeah.
So
you gotta try your damnedest to be the hardest grinder in the room. And I don't mean that in the sense of like it's a competition. Ooh, look what I did more than you. Like that's not what I look at in that. It's just I want to work with people that I know the minute I walk out of the view, the person they know is grinding, that once I walk away, I don't have to worry about what they're doing behind closed doors. They're grinding just as hard. So, because it's supposed to be a community effort. And, we all have deadlines. We all, some of work, a regular job and try to do this. And then some of us that do this full time, we're doing, 12, 14 hours a day, 7 days a week, the majority of the time. So we can't sit around and wait on Joe Blow, who's playing Call of Duty for 10 hours a day.
There's a lot of that too. No, but you also have to understand in this industry, there's going to be people that just don't like your stuff. I mean, I've written stuff. I've had people come up to me that bought it. And I said, hey, what'd you think? Man, you know what? I can see where you're going with it. It's not for me. I didn't really like it. Okay, well, I'm sorry. I apologize. You want to grab another book? No, I'm good, man. But hey, I want you ask for honest feedback. I'm like, that's fine.
Yep.
You're not going to hurt my feelings. If you don't like what I write, that's fine. You're not going to hurt my feelings because it's not for everybody. Not everybody likes thriller and horror. Not everybody's going to go grab a book of assassin squirrels because that's mature, by the way, because it's not for them. And I've even heard, well, that's an idiotic idea. Well, yeah, it probably is. But you know what? We still did it. And we're going to have fun with it because we wanted to do it. We think it, like McLean and I talked about it, we think it's the dumbest thing ever. But we're putting it out there. And the more people we talk to, some people laugh their asses off about it. Some people shrug their shoulders. But again, I'm not going to get down and I'm not going to go make a post and say, oh, such and such didn't like my writing. They didn't like my writing. I'm going to go hide in the closet now. I mean, it's just like this. There are people out there that may love your artwork. But they don't like you, William, because of you're very brash and blunt. And that's why I said in our group, we've only got one of you because we can only handle one of you. And it's true. Yeah. Not many people can handle you, but you got a heart of gold. But it's just like me. There are people that work for it, that they don't like me. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I am who I am. Right. Yeah. I don't.
I had.
There's a lot of jealousy in the industry, and it sucks. Yep. It shouldn't be, but there are people that are going to not like your work, not like who you are, shit talk you, and we hear it. McLean and I hear it constantly. Oh, you know what this person said about you? Mm-hmm. Whatever.
You know what I started telling people like that when because I get that every once in a while too. Hey, do you know what so and so said? And don't get me wrong, if someone said something about me, I'm not one of those people I'm not one of those people that go, oh, it's whatever. Now, I'm not really that person. I'm that guy when someone sends me a screenshot where somebody was slandering me or talking smack about me. I'm that guy that will walk up to them at the con and give them a chance to air that right then. So you guys are definitely handle it better than I do. So I've heard that stuff, and I always tell people now when somebody says, "Did you hear what?" Like I don't, to a degree, I don't care what they said about me. Like it's not going to make me go make a Cry Me a River post or affect my work. I will confront them when I see them because I always want to give people a chance to have that energy. Yes. But the one thing I always ask is, well, you know what? Let me ask you this: what did you say about me? to them when they were saying negative shit about me. See, that's the stuff I want to know about. So that's what I ask people now is, like, what did you say? Because I don't really care what they said. I'll handle them at some other time. What did you say in my defense, or what did you say to counter what they were trying to say? So that's the only ones I care about. And it does hurt sometimes when you find out someone that you thought was your friend or a respected colleague, were doing the same shady shit. But people got to learn that's going to happen in life in general. People are going to pretend to be your friend and talk about you behind your back, but you can't let it affect your work. You can't.
No, they don't pay your bills.
Right.
Most people do not pay your bills.
I'm depressed and miss my deadlines and all of this, because that's when you're letting them win. So, I mean, so it's going to happen. You just got to kind of ignore it for the most part, and just don't let it bring you down to the point that you start missing deadlines and you start missing work and all of that, because that's where it's going to really hurt you. Them talking about you, that's just somebody being petty, jealous, and running their mouth.
Yeah, that's the industry. I get it. I've been in groups where people are talking and you're just like, okay. And you've been in groups and like, oh, this and this about you. Okay, whatever. They don't pay my bills. They don't have anything to do. I can still be the nicest guy to them, and it's whatever. I can do that. It doesn't, and I hear it. And I have a moment that's coming that I'll be confronting somebody because it's more and more coming, and got a lot of good friends coming up going to, they're talking this. I'm like, oh, some people need to grow up in the industry.
Well, it's easier, like I get the psychology of it, like, because it's easier for someone who don't want to put in the 14 hours, who doesn't want to put in the time away from the, Call of Duty or, flipping Netflix or hanging out with their buddies, drinking at the bar, whatever their distraction is. It's a lot of people don't want to make those sacrifices, and to do what we do and do it on a level to where you're getting noticed and you're pumping out a lot of work. You gotta give up a lot of shit, and it's easier for them to continue doing all that and then throw shade on the ones that are actually doing the work. So, I mean, I get the psychology behind it, but yeah, I agree with you. I mean, it's one of those things where I wish that would happen is people would be a little bit more line in the sand. Because, I mean, for me personally, if someone comes to me and says, hey, Chris, I don't like Chris. And, and I'm like,
okay.
I'm like, how the fuck you don't like? I mean, I've had those conversations with somebody before about someone else, and they go, I didn't like that person. And I go, how the hell do you not like that guy? Like, what the hell did he do? And oh, well, I heard. Okay, well, never mind then. When you say I heard, I'm done with the conversation.
There's a lot of hearsay. There's a lot of hearsay.
So,
well,
what's up, Mr.
I heard that he walked down the street and flashed himself in front of a bunch of cats. Oh, okay. Yeah. Maybe he did. I don't know.
Yeah. You got to show me some shit. There's certain people in this industry. If somebody came up to me and said, which I don't listen to hearsay anyway, unless it's someone I truly, truly, truly know is telling something that really happened to them. So I don't listen to hearsay. But but if you're going to come to me, there's certain people you're going to have to show me some hardcore ass proof that that Sean did something to you, or that you did something to someone, or there's certain people they're going to have to show me something. If somebody rolled up to me and said McLean did this or that, I'll stand there and tell them straight up. Unless you got proof, you a straight up ass liar.
Yeah, because that ain't true. That guy doesn't do anything to anybody. He gets some of the worst rap from other people because they're like, I hear it, and I'm just like, you guys got to go on, man.
Yeah,
that guy has got a heart of gold for anybody. And the people that talk shit about him, and I have talked with him about it, and how he still promotes people and still talks good about people that have put him through the mud for no reason. And I'm like, that just shows you his character, that it doesn't let it bother him, which it could bother him. I don't know, but he's not going to let it bother him, and he's still going to be him. So
I wish I had an ounce of, the way he handles that shit like that, because sadly, I'm one of those dumbasses. I'd probably be one of those dudes standing there. If somebody went to mouthing off to McLean, I'd probably be going to jail.
You do that. What was that TikTok or some show that it's become a meme and a reel that, like they'll put the graphics of the football helmets on everybody's face, and there's the one guy, like the Chiefs, and they put the Chiefs logo on the one guy, and he's just hitting everybody, knocking out all the teams. That's what you want to do sometimes. So. Caesar, I know, and they're hard to see out of today for some reason too.
So I got to go get some damn
sugar. So
shit.
Yeah,
but, so give us a rundown. Unless you did it while I was gone, did you talk about the concept of the short story series that you're doing, where you got Bonnie and Clyde as the first story? Did you talk about?
No, because that's the only one I know of right now. Is that I'm not going to give away everybody's. I'm not giving away everybody. I know what Mike is going to do. I know what Lori's going to do. Ken and McLean, I know what they're doing, but I'm not going to give them away. Do
you want to mention the other one that you got planned for, like the Bonnie and Clyde story? But you remember we talked about the other one?
The big dude?
Yeah.
No.
You don't want to mention?
Okay. No. Here's one thing I had to do, because I'll mention these. Like, we'll be talking, we'll be like, oh, yeah, we're coming out with this and all this. And then I've also heard through this person's talking about writing a Ferryman book. I'm like, oh, well, go ahead, because I have a copyrighted the name.
There you go.
I've got it. So the minute I see that pop, I get to send that cease and desist letter to go, sorry, you can't have it. So when I got it, it was open, which I don't know how it was open domain after, and people like Henson and them were like, dude, you need to try to copy that name. And I'm like, so I looked it up, and sure enough, Ferryman was open domain. And so I went and got it. It wasn't fun, but it was cheap. But you went and got it, and you're protecting anything Ferryman that comes out.
Nice.
Yeah,
because
DC wants to try again. You're like, you can't do it.
So let me ask. So now that you have that protected, now DC can't pull that shit now where they drop.
Nobody can write a Ferryman story without my permission and signed up, because that name, I own the copyright to the name.
Nice.
Yes.
Awesome.
That was all done and finalized about 24 days ago, when I got all the emails, just waiting on the final paperwork to come in, but I got the email. So yes,
very cool.
That's taken a while, but I'm very excited about that, because what I'm going to do with the universe, I'd be like, somebody trying to go, which there's always parodies and people can do parodies, whatever, but they can't go on their title and put, even novelists can't go create a novel and put it on Amazon. Even somebody I don't know, but I'm not that guy that I'm not like Disney. I'm not going to go search everything that everybody does.
Right.
But it's in the comic world, and it's somebody I know, and somebody is like, man, why are you doing that? You can't do that, But anyway.
I don't blame you on the other stuff outside the comic world, but when it's another damn comic company and they walk their ass up to your damn booth and purchase a couple of your damn books, and then all of a sudden, handful of months, a year later, handful of months, whatever, how long it was, they drop a damn book with almost the exact same name, and combine the two stories into one story. That's a little much.
Yeah. McLean's telling me that he should be watching the show. He's telling me about some lady dressed up as Spider-Man at Flicks. So he's up there doing the whole Spider-Verse thing, selling prints. But no, but as far as Valhalla is going to be the next big one. That one was fun. I went to McLean I always go to him. I'm like, hey man, I got this idea. He's like, what is it? And I told him, where'd you get the idea? I'm like, I have no idea. It just popped up in my head. I got to do it. So I sat down one night, took a couple of days, got it written, edited it, went back, didn't like it, did everything. Took about a week, got it done, and I love it. It's where it is. Lisa and Brian edited it. I love it. Got you guys on the covers. The covers are absolutely beautiful. McLean's finishing all the graphics on the Kickstarter. Kickstarter launches next week, where we'll start putting out the flyers here in a couple of days.
Nice.
This one's going to be big. Mike Henson messaged me earlier. We've actually got graded foil cards of a couple of things that are going to be on the Kickstarter. And I was like, whoa, this one's been working for a few months, so it's taken them a little while to get printed because they're foil cards. That'll be on the Kickstarter as well. That's something new we're going to try. Something you should look at probably on number 4 of Psycho South.
Yeah, I want some new stretch goals. I want something a little different.
No, these won't be stretch goals. You don't want to give these away. These will cost you an arm and
tier?
leg. No, these will be a tier. But just little things like that. But yeah, the story alone. And then once I finished the story and it was a one shot, I was like, I couldn't do it. I was like, what can I do now? So then I spun it off, and right after it, and I'm almost done writing it, we're doing Shield Maiden. And, the whole story of Valhalla is about a king named Eric,
Right.
whose Lofoten is his village, because, in the Viking days, North Seas, there were villages. So his village, they went out and raided, and he was betrayed on the battlefield by somebody. I'm not going to say who. So the whole purpose is Valhalla. So usually in honor, when Vikings, they die on the battlefield, they go to Valhalla. Right. Unless they're evil or they do stuff, they go to hell. And in the book, hell is spelled H-E-L, because I know I'm going to get, you misspelled it. No, that's back then. You have to understand some of the language. That's how it was back then. Yep. So anyway, when he gets up, he's being chartered and journeyed through the river Styx by the ferryman. Well, he's not supposed to be. Well, the ferryman back then, remember, they give him 2 coins, which is payment to take the body and the soul to the underworld. So that's what's happening. So during the story, he is trying to convince the gods, because Vikings were big on Odin and the gods, and the ferryman to take him back so he can avenge his death on the battlefield because it was wrong. So it's a story about power. And I think once people pick it up, there's always a twist at the end. So I think you're going to like it. I freaking love it. The interiors are absolutely amazing.
The covers are ridiculous.
The covers are crazy. I will literally say everything we've done this one I absolutely love. I think we're going to do very well with this one. The whole Valhalla, the Viking lore has really caught some people. So when this one's done, we're going right into Shield Maiden, which is about, the Shield Maidens back in Viking time, which literally is was his wife. So it's going to have kind of a bit of a spinoff to catch up from Valhalla, but it doesn't have to do with Valhalla. Gotcha. But there'll be some bits and pieces in there. So once that's done, then I'm done with the Viking stuff. I'll have 2 of those books going right into one called The Road that's being done now. Ferryman Tales presents The Road. And then once that's done, we go right into the big one, the other big one that you and me and Cole talked about. The other ferryman. Yeah.
Oh my God, dude, yes.
About gathering, why the dude is gathering the souls. So that one's gonna be a lot of fun. I will literally start laying pencil to pad on notes on that one and have that one done. But that one's gonna be pretty intricate.
Yeah, I really do. Like I've seen, and I don't know if you have on your computer there. You're welcome to. I don't even know. Can you show them? I don't know how that works on StreamYard. But
I can't show the covers, but I can send them to you on Messenger. You can pull them, and you can upload them real quick.
Okay. Yeah, send me a couple of your favorite, and let me upload them real quick, just so they're on the video. See if I can figure out how to work this thing. But yeah, I agree. I think people are going to go stupid for Valhalla. I mean, the whole genre itself is super popular. It's been popular for a long time. They had the Viking TV show and stuff like that was super popular. I definitely think it's going to be one of those things that I think you're going to have a massive following on. Let's see, how do I do this?
So you need to right click each one and save it into a file, and then I'll show you where to go. It's real easy.
Okay.
You're on StreamYard, so yeah, it's real easy to put them up there.
All right, bear with me a second, guys. Let me get a couple of these covers pulled up here.
I still think we're at 1 viewer. I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of people will go back and watch it later. Because I only shared it out to like a couple of places. So.
No, I shared it out on mine. So.
Oh, did you? Okay. Yeah, I was kind of figuring Friday. It's like 5 p.m. I figured people would kind of be around, but I'm sure there's some con stuff going on this weekend too.
Dale shared it out. How's his daughter? Is he still watching? His daughter doing okay?
Yeah. I think she came home today or yesterday. I think. Okay, so I got them downloaded to the folder. Now, how do I?
So now go over to here. I'm trying to point like you can see me. Go over to the right, and I can't remember because all I have is the comments up. Go to
Is it banners?
no, is there brand underneath it, or is it banners? Check on banners where you can upload an image right there.
Oh, look at Charter Comics. All right,
So that's where it is. So the next one you should have like a little plus underneath it where you can add an image.
Got you. Okay. All right, let me get these. All right, we got that
And
one.
you can do them all at once, so you don't have to do individually. You can actually click. When you click on one, you can drag the box around all the covers, and then when you hit the add button, it'll put them all on there.
Oh, okay.
I learned that the other day when I was doing some football stuff. I was like,
All right.
oh.
I downloaded 3 of them here from the messenger, but yeah. So and obviously I got to show mine. I love mine, and Dave Kemp absolutely killed the colors on it. Damn, it's not as high quality though. That's weird. Huh? Shit. Let's see what David's looks like. Let's see how his looks. And of course, there's David's.
That Davis looks good.
Yeah.
I don't know why they're not coming through high quality. That's weird because they came through on Facebook high quality. I sent it through Messenger. So.
And then who was this one? This is a great cover.
That's Kim Salinas.
Oh, it was? Oh, nice. Awesome. But that's 3 of the covers, and of course these pictures aren't doing it justice because they are holy hell in high quality.
God, seeing the transfer, that's weird because if you go look at what I sent you, man, they're very high quality on Messenger, super clear. I don't know why it didn't. Oh well.
Yeah, but they can see it on your page too, though, on the post.
Yeah.
But yeah,
well, they go to Charter Comics on Facebook. Hey, Arliss, I'm actually going to make a post in a little while with all the covers. The only cover I'm missing right now is Zach Spivey's, and McLean's almost done doing the trade dress. He's doing something special with his, so that's the only one. But I'm still going to post the other 7 we got.
Yeah.
You know, I got you. You've pretty much done a Ferryman cover. Every one you've done a Ferryman cover.
Yeah.
You've done 1 and 2. 1 and 2, you did Origins, you did Shades of Death, so you did Valhalla.
Nope.
Ryan Palmer's the same. He was the original cover artist for cover A of number 1 of Don't Play the Ferryman. So he's done every one. Ken is the same way. Ken's been on every one.
The second print for issue, was it number 1? The one that had the other skull on it? Was that it was a second print, but was it for number 1 or number 2? I can't remember. But
number 2, because Ken did the second print of the Voodoo doll, the Ferryman, and you had the red cover, so that was number 2.
Yeah, that book's been just ridiculously popular. So, but yeah. So I mean, you know, for anyone tuning in, definitely make sure you guys check out Charter Comics. Chris, if you want to put the link to Charter Comics on can you put it on Steam?
No, I can't type anything. You can put a. No, I can't type anything. That's fine.
Oh, let me try. I can do it on my app. I mean, on my phone. I bet.
CharterComics.com, or it's Charter Comics on Facebook and Instagram.
I mean, on my phone. I bet.
CharterComics.com, or it's Charter Comics on Facebook and Instagram.
All right, there we go. I just put it. So yeah, so definitely everybody make sure you give Charter Comics a follow. Make sure you guys give Pastime Comics a follow in general. Make sure you guys get ready for Valhalla. Make sure you get ready for Psycho Sal number 4. Do you know what day next week you guys are going to be going into Kickstarter?
No, I'm working on it tonight, and McLean's finishing the graphics on the tiers. All the tiers are built. He goes in and builds the graphics. So once he's done with the graphics, then we hit the send to review. It'll come back and usually say you're ready for launch, and then we'll say, okay, let's launch on Thursday next week. Let's launch on Friday, which would probably be Friday. I would say is a good launch day in the afternoon. But we'll have all that posted. There'll be banners built to say, hey, coming soon, and then we'll have the pre-link where people can sign up for whenever it goes live, you know, that way they can click on it, they get notified. So
okay, cool. Yeah, because if everything goes good, like I talked to Marcel, I've already sent the pages to McLean for lettering, but Marcelo's already got I think 10 pages finished for Cycle Sound number 4. So I'm just waiting on the colors to start coming in for those. So I figure if everything goes good, I was going to try to do it for the 16th, but I got a feeling I'll probably end up doing mine somewhere around the 23rd. That's probably when I'll do mine, because I don't want to rush him, but because I'm going to be a little bit more stickler on this issue number 4, because I did notice something in issue number 3 that I would love to have gotten to adjust a little, but it's not, game changing or nothing, just me being a little OCD. But,
right.
But we had, when we were doing issue number 3, we had so much stuff going on with everything. It was ridiculous. So it kind of slipped under my radar. But like I said, it's not anything that alters the book or anything like that. And then, and then the other one, with this other book that I'm putting together now, I'm going to try to get that one knocked out relatively quick too, because I think that one might be a really fun story too, because I haven't seen anybody, like we were talking about that last night when we kind of tweaked the idea a little bit, other than I think like Rob with Nightwolf. I can't think of any other werewolf kind of stories that are out there.
There's that one from Houston that those people remember. It was a werewolf at a furry convention. It was a comic. That's not a comic. It was a novel, but I'm like, that's messed up. You got a werewolf at a furry convention who didn't know he was at a furry convention, and then apparently he just destroys all the furries. That's gonna be messed up. So
that was freaking hilarious when that girl came out of my table and showed me that book. But yeah, but as far as like a werewolf comic in general, I really haven't seen it. I'm sure there's some out there. It's not like I'm out there looking for them, but none have been like bouncing across my radar. Especially one. Again, this is, for those that don't know, this new story that we're going to be working on. It's called Cycle of the Blood Moon. It's set back in the mid 1800s, and it has to do with a Lycan family trying to stop these people from bringing back this this Lycan like blood god, and it's going to be taking place in New Orleans also, and it's going to be around what was her name? Her story, Delphine.
Delphine.
Yeah, Delphine. She was a really messed up ass person in New Orleans. So, and her house is still there, and it's supposed to be super haunted. But one of these days, Chris, we got to take a trip down there, though. But yeah, so make sure you guys keep your eyes open for that. And I'm not going to occupy any more of Chris's time. I know he's got a lot of stuff to get done, but
I just got to feed the dogs.
Feed the dogs. See, you're supposed to be like, oh no, I got like 10 books I got to finish. And
no, I'm not doing anything tonight.
Yeah, I got to go back in here and sit down.
TCU baseball coming on later. I'm not doing anything.
Wait, what's coming on?
I got TCU baseball. The college regionals are on, so I got to go nerd out, watch baseball later. But I'm not doing anything. Oh, F1? What do you think?
F1?
Yeah. But you really got to pay attention to some of it, because a lot of it's going to be the drivers, and like Ricardo, you're going to learn about Danny Rick, and it gets a little cheesy, but man, when they get into the races and you start seeing all the crashes and all the cussing and the fighting in the pits and everything, man.
Yeah, I just saw the one race where they were racing in Miami, but I'm gonna have to go back and start it over again, because I was watching it, loosely watching it while I was working. And the next thing I know, I look up and it's like season 5 episode. So I was like, okay, something went wrong, because there's no damn way in hell.
No, it's not. There are at least 8 to 10 episodes each, and they're close to an hour long. So you need to go back, because Miami was literally last year was the first race at Miami to ever happen at Miami. So yeah, your Netflix finished an episode and just automatically jumped. It didn't go in the order, so it jumped to the newest season.
Yeah, so I got to go back in that, because I saw one episode where they in one of the pits, Tom Cruise was in the pit with them.
That was last year, yeah, and that's happening right now. So literally, at the last race was Monaco. Last weekend was Monaco, and Tom Holland was in the Red Bull pit. So you're starting to see that a lot now, the celebrities, because it's becoming a big spectacle. The sport's huge, but
Yeah.
yeah, that is what's turned on. Like me and John Jane were talking about it when he was here last year at Cowtown. He's a big F1 guy. And he asked me how I got into it. And I was like, well, I've always been a racing fan, but Drive to Survive. He goes, yeah, exactly. And when you talk to people, it was that Netflix show that just hooked people, because when you start watching it and you start seeing what happens in the end, like when you start, I was always used to NASCAR. And then when Cole comes to me, he's telling me about F1, he's talking about it, and he goes, oh, yeah, well, there's 10 race teams. I go, what do you mean? There's only 10? He goes, yeah, there's only 10, and each race team has 2 drivers. I go, okay. So there's 2 Ferraris on the track, 2 Red Bulls, right? 2 Alpines, and you learn the race teams. And he goes, and I go, okay, so everybody's battling for points. And he goes, no, here's the thing. You got 20 drivers. The top 10 drivers at the end of the race are the only ones that get points. You're like, what? So 11 through 20, they don't get any points. And if you don't get points, you don't get money. So the race teams, there's the good ones. Everybody's got the same budget, right, every year.
Yeah.
But you got teams like Williams, who's always in last. They just can't put together a good car. So everybody's specs are the same on what they got to do. They have to redesign their car every year. You know, I mean, all the cars are brand new every year. They got to redesign them every year. And it's the way that they go into the wind tunnels and everything put into it. So when you start learning and seeing what these drivers go through, and these drivers can get fired through midway through the year, this is the stuff you're going to start seeing. You'll be like, holy crap.
Yeah.
It's a cutthroat sport. And then all the when they're racing, the pit stops, you know, are like 2 seconds, which will blow your mind because you're used to NASCAR running around changing the tires. 2 seconds on a pit stop and they're out. I mean, it's the craziest thing. They have 3 sets of tires you're going to learn about that they can use. They have wet tires, which you would think NASCAR would do it eventually, you know, because these cars can put on wets and still push 200 miles an hour down the straight. And but you know, where NASCAR guys can't do it. But it's very interesting. Once you start learning about it, you'll be like, man, you will be absolutely hooked on this sport.
Well, you know, almost all those, you know, a lot of shows and things in general, when the audience and the public can see the behind the scenes to a lot of it, where they can see the human interaction and get to know the people a little bit more personal than watching them go, or, you know, around a track. I mean, you're always going to get more people hooked that way. Because I've watched like the first like handful of episodes before I noticed that it had jumped. And so I got to go back and figure out where I left off. And I'm already interested. You know, I watched that movie last night, Rush, while I was working.
Oh, Rush is great. That's a true story.
Great movie.
True story too.
Yeah. And you know, and so and that's one of the reasons, like things like this, that's why I keep trying to tell people, like the same thing applies to what we do. When people can watch you talk with your community and learn some of the behind the scenes stuff, upcoming projects, see their passion in it, things like that, you'll bring in new fans the same way that they do. Because I never even thought about watching, and I like racing. I don't watch NASCAR, but I drag racing, you know, things like that, quarter mile, eighth mile. I've been into that since I was a kid. I just never thought about F1 until I talked to you guys, and you know, like I said, you told me to go check out that show, and so right before I started that show, I was like, you know what, Rush is on. Let me watch Rush, and you know, and I watched it, and I was like, okay, yeah, I definitely got to go check out this F1 thing that Chris is talking about on Netflix, and I'm already like the characters. Dude, they're extremely interesting, and seeing how all this works behind closed doors is ridiculous.
So, yeah, wait till they get there and start arguing behind closed doors with the team principal. But what gets me is, right, you see the paddock, which is a garage area, so they call it a paddock. And look, they got 42 TV screens up.
Yep.
And they have an engineer on every screen that can look on everything and see what's wrong with the car, right? So in NASCAR, what happens? You know, they're driving around the track and you can hear the driver go, well, the front right's vibrating a little bit. Oh, well, we'll add some wedge or we'll do something here. Right. They don't do that. They can literally fix it from the computer screen.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I mean, that's it. It cannot work on the car. If you crash, you're out. You know, I mean, you cannot work on the car. That's the craziest thing, because another thing that I love about it is qualifying. So when they do qualifying, you got 20 cars. Well, they do 3 rounds of qualifying. The first round, the 5 slowest drivers are knocked out.
Yep.
So round 2, the next 5 knocked out. So you try to get to Q3, and it's the top 10, right? So that's how they qualify. And then the other 10, or the other 10 that got knocked out of the other 2 go in on how they finished on their times. But
yeah, it's not
those points you found out, those points that the teams get on where their drivers finish at each race are millions of dollars for every point.
Jesus.
At the end of the year. And if your team gets 0 points because you didn't finish in the top 10 at any point out of 30 races, dude, you get like the bare minimum of money to go into next year and take care of your car. So those points are important. So that's why they're so excited when you see people finish like 8th and they get like 3 points. Well, that's huge because pretty much the way it is now is Red Bull's kind of the main guys, right? That's who me and Cole root for, and you'll see why. But then you got Mercedes, Ferrari. Those are the top dogs. And you'll see them battle it out in the seasons. Well, then everybody else is just behind them trying to get those 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, spots because it's worth money.
Yeah.
But they'll describe that and they'll talk about that, and you'll be like, man, I had no freaking clue. And then the terminology, you're so used to racing over here, the terminology that they use when they finish, you go, oh, you got first. Well, they don't call it that. They call it P1, P2, P3. Same thing as qualifying. So you'll start learning all the different terminology as well. But man, you'll get hooked. Go through season 1 and you'll be absolutely hooked.
Yeah, I'm about to go in there and like I said, I got to work just a little bit more. I'm gonna grab some dinner and work. Just I got a couple more head sketches I need to knock out, but and I got to jump on, which I laid the pencils out for yesterday. I mean, doing all this other stuff, I didn't even realize I hadn't even drawn my cover for Cycle Sound number 4 yet. Trying to deal with everybody, but and I still need to change. And now I got to chase down one person. Someone that I think their style fits and that they can get it done within a week and a half or so. So that's going to be difficult. But
I can do a stick figure cover.
Huh?
I can do a stick figure cover for you. You saw my heart in Houston. I'll tear it up.
You know what? That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea at all. Actually, that's not a bad idea at all. You know what I ought to do? I ought to let you do a stick figure cover and put it on like legit stick figure character, and put it on a Sega Genesis cartridge.
You can do that. Just make it Kickstarter only. There it is. Philip Holly, my biggest fan, right there. Look at that.
Yeah. What's up, Philip? Dude, like you guys don't get the kick behind that is hilarious. So the stick figure thing, there's a reason we're talking about that. It's insane how popular that got in Houston.
That was insane. That was ridiculous. You had Cole over there drawing, then you got Ken drawing one. It was crazy.
So you know what? I'm gonna give that some thought. That might be a fun cover to do. Have a Sega Nintendo like we did the Nintendo cartridge. Have a Sega cartridge.
Right.
And it's got the little logo on there, like Psycho Sal or on it, like just like a game cartridge, and have it be a stick figure guy in a with just got his little knife and just have fun with it. That might not be a bad idea at all to do. That might be pretty damn funny.
Yeah. Yeah, we could do that. I'll have to come up with some kind of design on Psycho Sal as a stick figure. I mean,
yeah. Just draw like a little Sega Genesis cartridge on a page, just a square box, so you know the size, and then just do something on there that would be kind of trippy. And you could even put maybe a little some building stuff in the background or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Well, I got to get out of here. My dogs are driving me crazy.
I'm going to go get back to work. But anyway, thank you for coming on the show.
Sure thing.
Everybody else, like I said, keep your eyes open for Valhalla. Keep your eyes open for Psycho Sal number 4. Make sure you guys go follow Charter Comics. Make sure you guys check out Pastime Comics 2. They do their new comic book nights on Tuesday nights, I believe.
Yep, that's it.
Central? Is that what it is?
Yeah, 8 p.m. Central.
Okay. But yeah, make sure you guys do it. Make sure you guys give Chris a follow, and we'll be sharing out those Kickstarters here real soon. And I will chat with you guys later. Appreciate it, Chris. All right, later, guys. Take care.